So her top is separated from her bottom, and I do that at the widest part of her head. So usually everyone is widest at the bridle, but rather than being a shape this direction, I like it to kind of start here and go down and down at the ear, because this is the widest part from top to bottom, but it's also the widest part from front to back. So if that's your shortest, it'll get you sort of the narrowest shape. So that's the reason for that. And then I've just been kind of building a little bit of weight on this side that you can kind of see. And then her left side just kind of nice and square. And right now I'm just kind of working a little bit on her hairline and kind of detailing that because she has some kind of strong growth patterns back there.
When you take somebody's hair from long to short, you always hope that they're going to have a face like hers, right? It's like, look at her. She looks so fantastic, and I think that she's one of those people that, I mean, long hair is long hair and it's fine, and it can be really pretty, but you know, it can be really pretty. But as far as working with her, I think that this short hair is really going to do something. I think it's going to be really exciting. So Heather, do you have something you'd like to talk about right now?
So yeah, I did what I was talking about earlier. I put the shortest pieces, you can see how I sectioned it off. I wanted to make sure her perimeter didn't have a big hole in it, so, and then she didn't look like she had like a mullet or lots of short layers on her front, so that's why I left this part down, so her perimeter won't at least have these long kind of pieces. And then, so yeah, I cut these. I make sure as I'm doing these disconnected haircuts that I'm sectioning these away so I'm not cutting into them and they're all organized. So now I'm doing the concave layer from here, and everything's going to be layered from short to long. So, I'm using a razor.
And that's because when they do comb from the root, they sort of section and they comb and they have sort of a whole motion with their whole wrist. So that hair is all the way over here by the time they are sort of lifting it out to cut it. So rather than that, you want to be able to put your comb in and turn your comb like that, so that you're right there and you pull that hair directly out right from where it goes.
So you're not scooping.
So you're not scooping it way out of.
Is that like an aha for everyone? You know, those are the little things that really make a big difference, that you're not over-directing and scooping a big chunk of hair, because then it's really not like sectioning at all. It's just like,
yeah, and you feel like, well, I did it. Why isn't it?
Right. Why is it not? And why is it not even on two sides?
And
so why did you section out that part and cut it now? Why didn't you just?
Because I really this part.
Yeah.
Because I finished with the bottom, so I'm just moving on up. I like to do this top part last. Oh, sure. The question was, why did I drop this down now and cut it? And I just said, because I was finished with my underneath part, I've sort of built my structure that everything's going to sit on, and I'm ready to just move up. So this will be my next section. I'll do the top section last.
Any other questions right now? Should we talk about hair color a little bit? Sure. That one becomes a big subject when we get into it. Do you want to talk about, should we talk about redheads?
Yeah.
Since they're challenging. Okay. Who would like to start with something that happened that was unexpected and unlikely? Some advice. It's got to be something. Way to get the redhead ball rolling.
Well, with our model, we wanted her to be more like violet at first, so we did like BB and RB so that the blue and red would cancel each other out and it was more violet, and then we put dark pure base in it, but it ended up being more red.
It looked like an OR or an RO type.
Okay.
So is that from the dark pure base?
So, just to repeat for everyone, they were looking for more of a violet, or at least red-violet color. So, and everybody can imagine that's kind of a wine color, and everybody's, in your mind's eye, that's what you're thinking about by that sort of wine color. And what they think they got more of was just an RO, right? So, the next question, so what's the first thing that comes to mind? When somebody tells me a story like that, the first question that I start to have is, what did you put it on? Like, what was her natural level?
Like a 6, like just a 6, a neutral 6.
And then what level did you use?
We didn't. I think we stayed there.
We tried to stay around that, so maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
remaining pigment at a level 6? Orange. Did you answer your question?
Yeah.
Why did it look like an OR? Right? So really, the factors, you just have to play out by the rules. Like, and you guys know by the time you're done with earth phase, you know the rules. But it's just so easy to forget them because you're trying so much in your mind's eye to head towards that thing, you just think it's going to happen. And then you take it off and go, oh, what did I forget? You know, what was I not thinking about? But that's really, to have a red violet or that sort of line, you have to have the blue pigment in there to support that. You can't get that at a level 6. So that's part of it.
And that's because of the
The only way you can beat that exposed pigment thing is to lift all the color out of it, throw red, violet, Pravana on it, and then color it back, right? So you're going to repigment with something really bright that has nothing to do with natural. Like, so you mix red and blue together in Pravana, something like that. Repigment with that, and then put something on at the level 6. Maybe you can get away with it that way. But when you're working real hair, it's got an exposed, what I call exposed pigment. You guys call it remaining pigment, but you're exposing whatever is under, you know, really in the hair, because it takes over. You know, you will never win. Whatever the NRP is, whatever you put on it loses. What wins is always the NRP. So it is the most important part of the equation. And misjudging it by a half level or a level makes a big difference. Because sometimes that's where the mistake is for reds, is you think you're working in red-orange and you're not. You're working in orange. Or you think you're working in orange-yellow and you're not. You're working in orange.
So you wouldn't be able to just add some blue to cancel out that natural remaining pigment?
It's doubtful you're going to get that at a level 6. It's too light. It's just not going to support it at a level 6. Doubtful. I see where, you know, that would be nice. If I could get enough blue on it, I could cancel out the orange. But then, at some point, then I just make mud, right? Because canceling orange canceled with blue is just mud. It's just brown. So where's the red-violet part? You know, it's not there. Okay, another one. That's how you learn. That's really good. I love that stuff. Some more. Or any kind of color shoe. Non-pigmented coverage. Anybody ever had problems getting someone with gray hair covered perfectly every single time? Nobody has that problem?
I have with foils for some reason. I don't know. I had this one woman come in and she had what do we use? I can't remember. I think we used like a 7 and an enlightener with 10 vol. And she didn't want a pre-color. She said she'd never had her hair pre-colored before and that it should be fine because I looked at it right here. She had these tufts with white, I mean it was like white hair. And we just couldn't get it to blend. And those are the colors that she wanted to use. And, you know, what she wanted. It would not cover those. We did it twice. She said that you should be able to do it pre-colored. Would you advise pre-coloring? Like, or how do you troubleshoot really resistant hair?
So she's got a foil line with enlightenment.